Watcha, internet. Hey. But medication is only one portion of healing yourself, of helping yourself. I had some really great counselling in uni. Like, it's been the best counselling, and I've never had anything that matched that. But I was a lot of talking about it, and so the first time I went, I was a bit like, counselling is blah, I was talking about fucking feelings, it's gonna be some bullshit. And like, I went to the first session with a bit like, yeah, I was talking about your feelings. And there was a bit at the end of the session where she said, right, now we'll take 5 minutes to pack everything back in. And I was just like, pack what back in? What the fuck are you talking about? This is some hoopy fruit shit. Second session, still nothing. Third session, boom! It just poured out of me. Like, I unlocked some box in my mind and just shit that I had never thought about but was obviously festering in the back. Whoa, just like a freaking tidal wave of my feels. And as it is, sometimes there's things where you know about them in the back of your head, but because you've not said them out loud, because you've not talked through them, you haven't actualized them. You haven't worked out what they mean. You haven't gone through like, oh, I see that equals that equals that. And I said a lot of things to this counsellor, and I was like, oh, that's why I do that. That's what that is. This explains so much about me as a person. And at the ending, when she said, let's take 5 minutes to pack up, I needed every single one of those minutes. It was, I had to like shove that stuff back into the box, clamp down on the box. And I came out, and John was there to meet me outside counselling, because he was usually like, let's go for a beer after you've had some counselling. That's always like, I'm not saying you have to drink after you've had counselling, but if you want to go and see someone and have like an easy time to just like settle yourself back into the real world, definitely do that. But he met me and was like, and I was like, I found out why counselling's good. Oh, holy crap, that is some useful business. Yeah, and I've had more counselling than then. I've had a lot of CBT. I don't get on with CBT. I think it's useful for some things. Like, there's definitely some issues that you should go for with CBT, but I think I always feel it's more of a secondary thing. Like, you should have talk therapy first and then go to CBT to deal with some of the things that have come up in talk therapy. And at the moment, in the psychiatrist community, and in the current situation with British healthcare, it's a bit like, let's shove CBT on absolutely everyone because it's cheap and ineffective. A lot of CBT is very sort of like marketing based, management based, and it feels, to me especially, a lot like, let's make the work unit function better as a work unit. And it's like, I'm not into this. This is not my paradigm. And a lot of it is like stuff where it's like, oh, well, you know, think I don't know, think better of yourself. And it's like, oh man, if it was as easy as me being like, think better of myself, I would go for it. But it's not. There's stuff in the back that I cannot consciously think about, or there's stuff that and there's a lot of, CBT is a lot of like, oh, your emotions are taking control, and it's like, no. A lot of time when I'm depressed, my emotions just leave, and it's like, oh, I am a robot who feels nothing for my human life. Oh, there's something happening, but it doesn't touch me through the extreme blackness of my experience. So being like, oh, don't let your emotions control you, was like, no, I need some of my emotions. I'm very happy with some of my emotions. Like, I love anger. That seems weird, and there's a lot of people who have anger issues and need to deal with them, but anger is such a motivating force for me. And it's sometimes a sort of a healing rage. Oh, hello. Yeah. So getting good and angry about some things just like blasts cobwebs away, and This is why I'm always very happy to identify with red lanterns, because, I mean, sometimes you just want to vomit toxic plasma over everyone who's fucking with you, but also anger is a useful force. You shouldn't let it destroy things, you shouldn't let it take over all of your life, you shouldn't just be angry, but it is useful, and I especially find it useful as just a kick up the arse. Like, it gets me fired up. Most of the time, I don't write, but I can write a screed if I am angry, and it's just like, it just is a rocket up my arse. And, yeah, you can't be angry all the time, but useful. So when CBT is all like, oh, put your emotions away, think only logically, I'm just like, fuck that Vulcan shit. Fuck that Vulcan shit. And I get angry about it. And also I don't know, I'm not comfortable with the bit where it's like, oh, there's this voice in your head and you should just ignore it. It's like, I can't. But yeah, there's the voice inside me that says, you're shit, you're so awful, why are you wasting your life? Why are you wasting everyone's time? No one loves you. That is a thing that I know is not logical and not real. But it also is a thing that I believe is an absolute truth. And it's both things at once. And sometimes one of them's more than the other. You know, I'm like, oh no, that's definitely bullshit. Look, see all those things that, you know, things that have happened that, like, I was feeling very low a while ago, and I was sort of thinking, like, you have no friends and no one wants to spend any time with you, and why should you make more friends? Because they would just not want to speak to you because you were dull and annoying. And then a part of me was like, no, you do have friends. Look, there is a friend that you have. And here are some people who've chosen to spend time with you and, like, wanted to do more. And here are some people who followed you on Twitter after seeing you in real life because your personality was that great that they wanted to have more of it. And, like, and there's literally a chap who lives with you full time because you're that great that he met you in uni and decided you were the one he wanted to live with for the rest of his life. Like, and it was, and there's just, like, occasions when, like, I just was going through my mind a little bit of, like, a you know, happy montage of people being like, oh, I really love that joke. Oh, I really enjoy when you come around. Oh, I've missed you. And it was like, see, there. And so having those concrete emotions, having those concrete examples was very good for, like, beating the depressed voice down with, like, you see, I can literally prove that good things happen. But on the other hand, it's not as if I can't sometimes prove that bad things happen as well. It's not sadly perfect, because there is that bit where you play a montage of awful things that have happened in your life, or times when you've been not perfect, and your brain's like, look how you sucked there. You suck bad, son. God, how embarrassing to be you. How embarrassing to have done that. Awkward. And so you have to work through that. This started me talking shit about CBT, didn't it? I'm just not happy with it ever. And I keep going for counselling, and then someone's like, actually it's CBT! Gotcha! And I'm like, and every time I think, well, try again, because remember, we didn't like counselling to begin with, so maybe CBT will get better. And it does not get better, it just gets bullshit. If it works for you, I'm really glad and I'm really pleased. And I know some people where it's been very helpful. And literally try anything that you think will help you, that you think is gonna get you through stuff. But if it doesn't work, you know, after giving it a full good try, you can acknowledge that, like, that's not for me. Like, some people don't take medication because it just, the side effects are too much, or they don't have access to it, or it's just not right for them. There are some people who control their depression with diet, which, like, is some crazy business as far as I'm concerned, but that's because I'm terrible at eating, and I also really don't like a lot of foods. Managing to eat a reasonable diet that's just like, okay, baseline human, good stuff, is difficult for me, so I couldn't then alter my food to change my brain chemistry. But I do know some people who have managed that, and who have just, through careful diet, you know, giving themselves some good stuff. Exercise is another good one. It's not always easy, but I mean, I do a lot of walking, and I try and walk in the outside. There's, I try and, it's been 2 days before I've been outside. You think, right, you've got to go outside, just go for a walk, come back.